We're all here and it's 7 o'clock, so I will call this meeting to order. Thanks to everyone for coming tonight. We have 9 attendees in the audience, excuse me, in addition to the panelists. First order of business is the pledge to the flag. I'll mute everybody and ask everyone to join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And everybody's still muted, but I think you can unmute yourselves. Yep. Okay.
Christine?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Next order of business is the approval of minutes from our January 25th meeting. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes? Hearing none, could I have a motion that they be approved as written?
So moved.
Okay, motion by trustee Shaw, second by trustee Raymond, I believe. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Those minutes are approved. Next order of business is mayor announcements. I have a few tonight. At our last meeting, Mr. Rossi asked if having the county run our elections would have any impact on the nonpartisan nature of our elections. We checked with county elections and the answer is no. Independent candidates must pick a name for their affiliation, and nonpartisan village candidates' names would be listed on the county ballot under those affiliations, just like they will be on the village ballot next month. So there's no impact. Independent candidates can still run just as they do when the village runs the election. Also, last meeting, I announced a New York State sales tax reduction payment to the counties. The treasurer checked on the impact of that on the village, and the impact appears to be minimal. We still expect to finish the year with more sales tax income than we budgeted. So it's a very minor impact on that. Of course, we budgeted very conservatively because we knew at that time that the pandemic was coming. So third, the local laws that we discussed last week were not finalized in time to have the first readings at tonight's meeting. So I expect them to be finalized this week, and we'll plan on having the first readings at our next meeting, which is February 22nd. And then the public hearings on those laws would be at our first meeting in March, which is March 8th. There have been various questions about the old county infirmary, Maplewood Manor, which is in the process of closing. I have had several conversations with a representative of the company that owns that facility, and they are currently looking for a new tenant, but they tell me that they would entertain offers of sale if such were presented to them. So they're fairly open to anything except leaving it sitting there, not generating any money. And last, there will be no Winterfest this year because of the continued COVID situation. We're still facing a higher level than is comfortable for having mass gatherings. So I don't want the village to sponsor a mass gathering under these conditions. And that's it for announcements tonight. Moving on to old business, I'm not aware of any old business to come before the board tonight. So we'll move on to new business. Could I have a motion that the budget transfers be approved?
I'll make the motion.
Motion by trustee Fitzpatrick. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Was that trustee Cormos?
Yes.
Any discussion? All in favor of the budget transfers, please say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Transfers are approved. Could I have a motion that the complete street workshop summary document be approved?
I'll make that motion.
Everybody was waiting for you to, I think. Motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Shaw. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay.
Mhm. We'll make that available for the website.
Good, thank you. That motion is approved. The next item of new business is a discussion of budget workshops. The treasurer and I are already conducting our budget meetings with the department heads. And I continue to think that those are probably sufficient, but it's my recollection from last year that the trustees wanted to have separate budget workshops in addition to that. Is that still the case?
Yeah.
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 Yes.
Okay.
I'll just, for the record, modify that response a little bit. I mean, it strikes me that I'm not sure we have to have budget workshops for every department, unless we get, I mean, things are a lot different than they used to be, right? And if I were to get something in my inbox from Julia and the mayor that made a lot of sense, and with respect to which I had a couple questions, I'd be happy to just have some back and forth with Julia and the mayor to get that worked out. If I got something in my inbox that had like 15 questions and a bunch of sort of substantive matters, then maybe a workshop makes sense. But are we being too knee-jerk and scheduling workshops for every department just because? Maybe I'll just put that out there. If everybody thinks we should just do it as a matter of diligence, then that makes that, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, there are some areas where, there aren't a lot of questions. And also the budgets are not that large.
Yeah, like library or something. I mean,
Yeah.
I just, I don't know whether we need to take up an entire evening of everybody's time to sit around and talk about the library budget when it's pretty much the same as it always has been. And unless people have big substantive issues. And I know Christine has been extraordinarily responsible about managing that particular department. So anyway, I guess the point is we should just have maybe a discussion about what's necessary from a kind of, quote unquote workshop. Certainly, I think DPW, there's stuff there that is worth a broader conversation. Staffing changes in Village Hall are probably worth at least, a discussion. I don't know if a workshop is necessary, but anyway, I've said enough.
All right, thank you. Thank you for those comments. The treasurer and I, in anticipation that you would want to hold some of these, looked at the schedule for the week that they are scheduled in the budget calendar, which is the week of March 8th. And the two nights that she and I are both available that week, we have a board meeting on Monday, are Tuesday the 9th and Thursday the 11th. So we have those 2 evenings available to us. I assume at 7 o'clock on Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I would just ask which departments we need to meet with. I thought of DPW, which I've already heard. So we'll plan to try to schedule them one of those evenings. Do we need to meet with the library?
I don't think so.
I mean, we
Christine?
No, that's fine. I mean, as long as I mean, well, yeah, we'll see it and we'll want to review it. But yeah, we don't have to meet
Yeah.
with,
Will we get a sort of preliminary budget so that we can look at it and then say, gee, that's fine. I don't have any questions, and then we don't need to meet with that group?
Julia, I don't have the budget calendar in front of me tonight. Do you remember
I
when
mean,
the preliminary budget comes up?
yeah, I mean, according to our calendar and what we needed from the state controllers, we didn't pursue anything before the tentative budget. But if that's going to be determined for budget workshops, on whether or not the need is to agree with them with you guys, then we can always look into, submitting something for you guys if you want.
When is-
to review it beforehand.
When does the tentative budget get issued? Sorry, Julia.
Well, the tentative budget will be filed with Terry on the 19th, but it will be presented on the 22nd of March.
So this
So
is,
that would be before the budget workshops would be scheduled. So
But you have internal documents, sort
Yeah,
of draft budgets
that's-
for each
yeah.
department that you can send us before the week of the 8th, right?
yeah, and that's what I was mentioning. Yep, I can send
Okay.
those if that's what you want before scheduling the budget workshops.
and it would
Yeah.
be useful to see, that versus last year's budget. To see our numbers so that we can say, oh, gee, they want to spend a lot more or less on a particular area. So we get some sort of feeling, how that varies from this last year's budget.
Yeah, we can look into something like that.
Yes,
All right, so how about police?
sort of, it is a big
Mhm.
item.
I think we should do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
Fire.
lot.
I think DPW, police and fire. Oh, and I'm sorry, we do have to have a conversation about village hall staff.
Yeah,
And-
fire is not a huge number, and
Mhm.
so it really, if they, again, stick to the same numbers that they have this year and don't have large, asks for capital or things like that, then probably we don't need to meet with them.
Mhm,
I would tend to agree. I mean, I think fire
Yeah.
is,
mhm,
I think over the course of the last 3 or 4 years, we've kind of got fire on a glide path in terms of, their increased revenues and, some of the big expenditures that had to be made or made. Unless there's something particular, I don't feel a particular need to dig into the fire budgets unless, I'm not thinking of something.
Okay,
Okay,
and the other one that I think we did last year was court.
I don't think we need to do that.
Yeah, unless,
Yeah.
again, there's a, major change from this year. I don't see why we.
Yeah,
need-
unless there's an increase in staffing or something like that. Or you'd have
No.
to,
There is not. Okay, so I will ask the treasurer, please, to try to schedule DPW for one of those evenings and police for the other one. And we can do central office the same night we do police.
okay, that works.
So
Mhm.
fire is contingent on any additional or
Yeah.
unexpected expenses. Okay.
Yeah. Can I
Okay.
ask one more question, not to drive everybody crazy on this one? What are people's thoughts about a marathon session one night as opposed to, 2 nights? I honestly, I'm guessing these are going to go faster than they have in past years. We might want to try to do it in one fell swoop over the course of a couple hours.
I don't have a problem with it.
Fine with me.
So what, we start at 7 and go till we're done?
Yeah, I mean, I have a hard time believing it would go past 9.
I would
I
agree.
have to agree.
Okay, so
Well, hold
treasurer-
the other date for reserve.
Treasurer, Smith, maybe you can see if both police and DPW could be available on either one of those nights.
Okay.
And if we can schedule everything on the same night, we will. Okay,
And then just leave as, in case we run into a problem.
yeah, we can always schedule additional meetings anytime we want. I mean,
Okay, okay. We'll just hold both those days just in case.
Okay,
Or I will. I'm not telling anybody else what they have to do.
I will too.
Okay, thank you. In a very unusual twist that I confess to not understanding, we have no consent agenda tonight. No expenditures needed to be approved. Nobody spent anything.
Nothing large.
So that's good. So that brings us to trustee liaison reports. Any trustees wish to present reports tonight to the board?
I would, just, this is with respect to the library, just a couple of things, that the library is going to be getting an intern. This is a person who is in the library science master's program. And they are going to be working, they're going to start out working as a volunteer, and then when they finish enough coursework, they will be doing a internship, where they get credit there. It's unpaid by us, but they get credit from the library program that they're in. This is in State University system in Albany. And they are also, one of the things they're going to tackle is a lot of our historical records, in the room we used to meet in a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, in the back room where you have all of these drawers and cabinets, and it, looks, so that's one of the things they're going to be focusing on, going through. And this is somebody who has experience who is training for library archivists. So they're going to start as a volunteer, and then at some point in the future, probably the end of this semester or the beginning of next semester, be an intern. And the other thing is that I'm amazed to see the number of people it's wonderful, who utilize the library. We even have something like this one, there are 150 kids took advantage of story time in one particular day. And they have for anybody who's interested, they have a book club that meets virtually once a month. They had 9 people. I mean, so there's a lot of activity, which is a really good thing, because it becomes very important, I guess, particularly at this time. So, and they're working through this whole curbside, all the service is curbside. Okay, so that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, trustee Fitzpatrick. No, trustee Cormos, did I see you starting to say something?
Yes, just an update. The mayor and myself and John Cromie, who is chair of the Comprehensive Plan Committee, met last week with representatives from CDRPC and CDTA, and discussed the first stage of that technical assistance grant, where we'll be gathering data from lots of different sources, and we hope to have an initial analysis of essentially the existing conditions in the village by the end of this month. And then next month, they will be assisting us with an RFP to bring in a consultant for the comprehensive plan initiative. So just an update, we're moving along pretty fast on getting that first chapter, completed and getting an RFP out.
Okay, thank you. Anything else from any of the trustees? All right. I know of no other business that needs to come before the board tonight.
I had a question.
Okay.
We have dollars in this year's budget for an audit, and that I believe is for the 2019 to 20 year that we're going to audit. And I was just wondering where we are in that. I mean, is that delayed because of COVID, or, because we're going to have to spend the money this year, and this year is,
So that's currently still going on. It got pushed off because of the resolution that we passed, I believe, end of December, if not, it had to be early January. And it was pending that resolution that they could complete the audit.
Yeah.
So we're working on it now.
Okay, good. Just wanted to see where it was.
we did bid it and start it, and then we got this glitch with the Section 8 accounting that we had to straighten out, but we're
Okay.
doing. Okay. That concludes the board's business, so I will open the floor to public comment. And I have to call up the list. We have 16 people with us at this point, so it'll take me a minute to scroll through the list. And if anybody wishes to make a public comment tonight, please raise your hand and I will call on you. Okay, I see one hand and I will recognize Gina Morosi. Well, nothing is happening. There we go. Now I got an allow to talk. Okay, Ms. Morosi, you are on.
Can you hear me, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, please give your name and address, anyone who wants to make a public comment.
Gina Morosi, 10 Old Glory Lane, Ballston Spa. My concern and my reason for speaking to you tonight is regarding something that happened at your workshop regarding the codes and zoning that you had the other night, last week.
Yep.
Apparently there was something brought up about the fact that the two fire departments have their own bylaws. And there was a discussion regarding that. And the comment was made by one of the trustees not to bring it up before the election, to wait till after the election to bring up this topic. And I am confused by this statement. I'd like to know, A, what that statement means, and B, what was the intent of that statement?
Well, I can tell you, for those who weren't there at our workshop, that one of the local laws that we're working on changes the language on fire department officers and membership. It turns out that the village code was very specific about what exact officers and sub-officers and members were in each of our two fire departments. And the village code did not match either of the existing practices in either house, and the two houses don't follow the same practice either. And so it was at the fire department's request that we are considering a revised local law that says the officers and membership of the fire companies will be established by the bylaws of the individual companies, with some caveat in there that the board of trustees can override that if there's anything wrong with what they're doing, which there never has been before to my knowledge. So that was the context of the discussion that Ms. Morosi is speaking about. And I honestly don't remember the particular comment you referred to, so I don't think I have anything to say about that. Does any other board member?
No,
I believe the discussion was between Liz and Sean. Sean was saying that he didn't understand why there were two sets of bylaws for each company and was pushing the issue, and then was told by Liz to wait till after the election. That to me seems a little shady, and I would like it explained, not only to me, but to all the members of the fire department.
It was a joke.
It was a joke.
Yes.
Oh.
I apologize
Oh,
if that offended anyone.
Gina, I'll be, completely straightforward. Just looking at it for me, I just wanted to know, since it looked essentially like the bylaws were identical, except for, specific names, why there wouldn't be just one set of bylaws. So that was my curiosity.
Okay, a joke. I'll keep that in mind. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Morosi. I see another hand. A couple more hands. But I'm having trouble with my controls here. For some reason, they're not giving me an unmute option. It took quite a while to get Ms. Morosi's to show. Okay, now they're showing. All right, I'll recognize Jeremy Baird.
Hi, Jeremy Baird, 3 Maple Avenue. Just a quick question. Could the board clarify what the village's fiscal calendar is?
Yeah, our fiscal year starts June 1st and runs to May 31st. So we have to adopt a budget in April to take effect on June 1st, and you work back from there to right now. We just started meeting with department heads around the 1st of February, me and the treasurer, and we're meeting with each individual department head to get the department head's budget requests for next year. And then the treasurer and I will put together a preliminary budget that will be presented to the board. The board, as you heard earlier tonight, has the option of also meeting with certain department heads if they wish. And then I think there's a public hearing on the budget, and I think adoption is, do you remember the date in April?
It's mid to late April.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, Jeremy, that these dates are not dates that the village gets to choose. These dates are set by state law.
That is helpful. Thank you. It just was we're having that good discussion about it, but that was left out, so I wanted to bring that up. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. And I see another. I see another hand. I will recognize Mark Black.
I think he's muted.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Mark Black, 10 Thompson Street. I just want to let everyone know that we're starting the birdhouse project. I've already given out got about 60 already. So we're letting everyone know on Facebook, and I'll get it to the village office to post on the village website. But if anyone wants a birdhouse, we're doing it in a very safe, non-contact way. I put your name on the back and leave them out on the table overnight. And hopefully by then any possibility of infection of transmission is gone. And then you come and get it and drop it off when you're done. So if you're interested, just email me or call me and we can set up a pickup.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Black. We appreciate your doing this annual event once again. It's become quite popular and gets a lot of interest. So thanks for your efforts.
It's also a harbinger of spring, which
Yes.
God knows we need, Mark.
Oh my God, it's so cold.
All right, I did see another hand, I thought for a minute there, but let me scroll through again. Yes, there's another hand, and I'll recognize Mandy Ryder. Okay, you need to unmute yourself from your, yep. You're good.
Okay, Mayor Wilbright, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, this is just a 2 quick thank yous going out. First of all,
Mandy, what's your address, please?
I'm sorry, a 9 Heritage Place, Ballston Spa.
Thank you.
Larry, please, or Mayor Wilbright, extend my thanks to the village crew. They did a fantastic job with getting all the snow off the sidewalks and streets and everything that was going on with the last couple of snowstorms. And also I want to thank Trustee Fitzpatrick for your work with the library. Going for curbside pickup is a delight. I had trouble getting on the website, and I wanted to be involved in their Date with the Blind book for their February, event, and they were absolutely fantastic. Everyone there was so helpful. So again, Trustee Fitzpatrick, thank you for all you do with the library.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ryder, the DPW crew, and I'm sure the library as well, always really appreciate it when people give them positive feedback.
Of course.
Yes,
We'll pass
we
that.
will- I will pass it on.
Thank you.
Thanks for those comments. I think that's it. Let me just scroll through one more time and see if there are any new hands. Nope, I don't see any more hands. So I will close the public comment session then, thanks to the 4 people who made comments tonight. And to the 16, I think I said earlier that we had 9 in attendance. We're up to 16 at this point. And I will ask for a motion that vouchers number 21-01207 to 21-01460 be audited and the meeting adjourned.
Make that motion.
Motion by trustee Raymond. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by trustee Shaw. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Thank you very much, everyone. The meeting is adjourned.
Nice
Thank you.
short meeting.
In 2 weeks. We won't be in 2 weeks because we'll have all those local laws to deal with.
Yes, exactly.
Good night, everyone.
All right,
Good night.
thank you.